and welcome to this special edition of the show, coming to you from India's entertainment capital, Mumbai. He is by far one of India's biggest stars, and his appeal is spread around the globe. In a career spanning 2 decades, he's appeared in more than 60 movies, prolific even by Bollywood standards, and his work has earned him huge box office success, critical acclaim, and a long string of awards. His name is Shahrukh Khan, but he's affectionately known as King Khan, or SRK, to his legion of fans.
Ladies and gentlemen, कहते हैं अगर किसी चीज को दिल से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसे तुमसे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है। आप सबने मुझे मेरी चाहत से मिला दिया। Thanks very much. I feel like the king of the world.
Shahrukh, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Riz.
You know, in this your new movie, Rab Ne Bana Di Jodi, you've created this anti-hero image, almost with the glasses and ill-fitting clothes and everything else. Were you trying to break away from the typical hero look?
No, I wasn't breaking away, Riz. Actually, the idea came to me for some years. See, I do come from a very middle-class, regular kind of background, and I've been selling this dream-like hero type. I call them the hero type. I don't call them stereotypes. It's a hero type. He's cool. He wears Harley Davidson, wears Ray-Bans, drives a cool car or a bike, and he's very good with women. And I started feeling that I've been selling this too long, and I truly believe I force people into watching the kind of films I do. And sometimes I get a little wary of looking at. I'm like, is this what I want to keep telling people? It's really cool to be cool, and I'm not cool in personal life. I'm rather boring and I'm not very interesting.
Because you can't tell that to your fans. They probably wouldn't agree.
But actually, in real life, I'm like that, and I've come from that kind of background. Maybe that's why I vent myself by playing Superman and Batman every day. So I've said that every time that it's really nice. I can't be me, so I'll be someone else. And so I decided, and I sort of realized that only a couple of maybe 2% people in the world are Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. And even them, I'm sure when you ask them, they never thought they would be that. Because I understand it now, 20 years of work, and I never thought I would be a big star. So 98% of the people, can I just turn around and tell them, it's really good to be you. It's really nice. It's not special to be special. It is special to be ordinary. And, and it's very nice. And I think we all have two people inside. Some of us get the opportunity, like I did, because I came into media, that I can go out and, behave whatever I feel, wear tights over, underwears over tights and have a good time. But a lot of us don't get that opportunity. I wanted to make a film which wants to tell every woman, every man, that is really, really cool to be used. So Raj was this guy, that prototype I'd created or got created, I didn't create him. It just happened that everyone says, oh, Shahrukh kind of song, and he'll put his arms out and he'll look with what they call doe eyes or dog eyes, I don't know, puppy dog eyes and stuff like that, and girls will fall in love. So I wanted to make a character who I actually met on one of my shows, one of the game shows I was doing, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And I met this gentleman who turned around and I asked him, what are you going to do with this money? And he said, I'm going to give it to poor people. And I said, aren't you poor? He says, no, I just missed it, but I felt poverty, and I want to give it to them. He didn't win. He didn't make it on the show. I was just having a chat with him before the show. And I found that very, very honest, very brave, very courageous. And I found him better than me, that he's so comfortable just being him, with or without the money. So I wanted to make this guy. I saw the film yesterday. So that's why I think I've done a, I won't be humble. I've done a brilliant job of creating a simple, ordinary guy. It's so nice because it's just about this, it's just so nice to be you, simple people.
Was it commercially risky though, especially when now with the downturn, Bollywood's been going through a bit of a financial crisis this year to go away from the standard hero type of measure as well? Commercially it was quite a risk, wasn't it?
See, there are two ways to look at it. One, somehow, I think over the years, now 20 years I've been working, I think a few films that I've done in the last couple of years or 3 years, I've tried to be different. I'm trying to create characters because I've started enjoying that. And people seem to appreciate it, whether it's a Swadesh or a Chak De India, where in the beginning, people do turn around and say, oh God, he's going to sing a song. He's going to be there with a beard. And then slowly, the films are always, I believe, bigger than the star or the actor. And that proved it so with these two films. So this time, I think people are a little apprehensive about saying, we don't like him. They're like, okay, there must be something to this film. So I'm using that, one. Secondly, I think the commerce that we talk about, or the business in the industry, the part that is in everybody's mind now, I think the business of the film itself kills the film. The business of the industry doesn't kill a film. So you make a film. When we made Chak De, it was made in like maybe a couple of $1 million, which is a very small budget film for the kind of stardom and everything it attached to it. But we made it in that. And we released it, and it did well. Similarly, this film is much more expensive. It's a film that has been made by the director who had the longest film, second longest film in the history of the world, running film, Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge. And we said, if we don't do it, now we are all 40s. And I said, we need to do something special. We need to turn around. And Adi was really gung-ho. He said, so if we go wrong, it'll be okay. And, so we didn't mind that. And I think the business itself will work it out. We put enough commercial tidbits around it, the timing to release it, where people will come to see it. And we believe that the story is nice.
I mean, as you were saying, about 2 decades in the business for you now. How has the film industry in India evolved? I mean, has there been any radical change? Because there's a set formula. The song and dance is still the exciting thing for many people, isn't it?
Actually, last 5 years, radical change. If I was to just go over the 20 years, I'd say the first big change is technology. I think we have learned, we had access to it about 10 years ago. In the last 5 years, we've learned how to use those tools, whether it's VFX, whether it's the cameras, whether it's the lensing, whether it's the lighting. The second change that has happened is that the hero types can do a lot more things than they could earlier because of the exposure of this immense amount of television that has come into the country. So you have superheroes and you have super bad guys played by guys who normally played good. And it's accepted. It's no longer special. When I started off, I became a big star because I played a bad guy. It was the first time a regular movie star was doing a bad guy, and they still turn around and tell me, oh, he was the first one who started. It was very special. Now it's no longer special. And I think that's wonderful for an actor or a star. And the third change is India is going to be the youngest country in the world in the next few years. I think 2010, 2011, I think Uganda and India are going to be there. And that change has been the radical one. Last 5 years, youngsters have come in. Like now when I show my son a film who's 11, who's not perhaps the right age, but I have access to kids of 15, 16, who I'm talking about. The other day I saw a film and I was telling the problems in the film to these kids. But did you like that? They didn't resolve that. They didn't say that. He didn't look good. And this kid turned around and said, uncle, you have problems. The film had no problem. And that was really nice because the kids now, or the youngsters now, they don't come with a set piece in mind. The film has to be like this. So there are a lot of new films without songs. We're doing films without songs, without a big thing now. And there is a change, but yes, there is still a 60 to 70% big market, which has to be, it's such a huge country with so many different people. You need to do something for the grandmoms also. And, so you have to do a mix kind of a stuff.
For the last decade or so, there's been a lot of comparison between Hollywood and Bollywood. And of course, the question that usually gets asked is, do you have interest in Hollywood? Indian actors get asked this. And of course, now Hollywood's influence is coming into India. It's gone almost the other way, that instead of everyone looking to go to West, the West is coming to the East.
Yeah, this has happened. I tell everyone that it's not me who should, it doesn't make a difference how interested I am in Hollywood. It's the other way around. They would be the employers, and I don't think anyone is interested in me. To be really honest, I have nothing special to offer. I'm 40-year-old. They have much better looking, much more talented 40-year-old actors there. I don't know Kung Fu. My dancing's not as good as Travolta. There's nothing special about me. So I don't think I'll make it unless, one director decides to make a film about a thin, brown, scruffy-haired Indian. And, it's a realistic biopic, and I get the Oscar for it. But I don't think anybody would be interested. I don't have anything to offer. I don't think I'm good enough to be in Hollywood. I think I'm not good enough to be in the Indian film industry. I'm just sort of getting to, set it right for myself. The second part is that, yes, there was a time when I very pompously, when I was younger and stupider, I remember saying it, when people used to say, are you going to Hollywood? And very pompously in America, and Voice of America, I think I was giving an interview, and I turned around and said, yeah, if Hollywood wants me, it has to come to Mumbai. And it was very pompous and silly, but sounded good, like a movie star. But now I notice the production has come here. The market is here now. You have 1.2 billion people here. And I've always thought that, we're looking for the rest of the world of 4 billion people or 5 billion people, but we at home have such eyeballs. Production houses like Warner Brothers, Sony, Columbia, they're so wonderful now. They're coming down. They're bringing in the organization of the American mind. And I think we need to bring in a bit of rawness and madness of the Indian culture, the colors and warmth. And that would be a great mix. So far, that's not happened. I don't think there is a mix which has happened. Once that happens, I think the business acumen of Americans and the Westerners and the storytelling prowess of this side of the world would be a great thing. But it's not happened yet.
You're humble about your achievements and your talents, but one thing you have clearly that's not even visible in Hollywood at on this scale is your star appeal. I mean, India has it at a level that's yourself, people like Amitabh Bachchan. You have something that really doesn't get reflected anywhere else in the world. So when Hollywood comes here, is it going to try to change the industry? Or do you think that you are able to be strong enough on your domestic turf to be able to say, this is how we do things, how can we work together?
No, I think the reason they're coming down here is that they've already accepted the fact that India is the only country, as a matter of fact, if I may say so, where English films or Western films haven't done well at all. Spider-Man doesn't take an opening, unfortunately. Wonderful films. Even a film like, which was the film, I Am the King of the World? Titanic. Wasn't very big here. It's great in South Africa, it's great in Japan, it's great in Southeast Asia. But in India, Western films don't even take an opening. Their business is 100th. So they do realize that they have to do something special. And obviously, the market is special. That's why it's not taking on to the films like the rest of the world is. As far as, the second part is that whether they have to listen to our demands, I think it has to be. Quentin Tarantino, I heard him speak in Cannes once, and he said something very wonderful. He said a film industry would only exist in a country on a big scale if it has a star system. And you notice it. If I may add, England, or say even France now, or some other great filmmaking nations somehow haven't been able to keep up with the rest of the world because the star system has sort of just, it becomes a job. So you go, you're an actor. This demigod status that is given in India, as a matter of fact, I think makes greater business sense, and that's why it'll continue like that.
Well, we've got to pause here for a short break. We're back with more with Shahrukh Khan in just a moment. Don't go away.